Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the WiX Online Meeting 295. It is the year 225, May 21, and those of you that aren't with us right here, right now, are able to be because meeting is recorded for those of you that are.
In the year
Let's talk
225?
2025. That's what I said.
Okay.
Now you're messing with me. All right.
Maybe.
Roll call. Agenda. Hey, if you're here, say hi. It's great to have you here. If you're watching this later, feel free to drop a comment to say, hey, hi. Always wondering how people are doing and how many people are watching and enjoying these meetings. Learning something from it. All that kind of good stuff. What are we going to talk about? Well, you're going to learn something today. We will have a WiX 601. This always seems to happen. About 2 months after the initial release, feels like there's always something that we have to fix. So anyway, we will have 601. We'll talk about what we're fixing in it in a moment. Then we'll do triage today. And as we mentioned in the last meeting, we're going to go through the future milestone and start pulling issues out of there and putting them into WiX 7, or punting them into someone else can do it. Up for grabs, I guess. And then at the end of all that, we'll do questions and comments and things that people want to talk about. So let's talk about 601. It's not going to be a surprise. It's a bug fix release. FireGiant customers have found a few things, and Bob decided he wants to fix the files issue, which is the 9028 that's tripping people up when you have multiple unnamed bind paths. So 4 bugs in it. It'll go out June 5th. So a couple weeks if people are like, really need, this is like blowing everything up. Although you probably should have said something if it was blowing things up. So this is probably the set of bug fixes that we're taking 601. And if you go look out there, there are already fixes for all of them, because Bob is awesome. And they're all just kind of queued up, waiting for me to make sure that 7 is ready to go and then create the 6th branch and blah, blah, blah. A whole bunch of just maintenance overhead, making sure that everything is good to go for all of this stuff. But 601 will come out. And the one that I think most people will be interested in is that files fix. And that was probably tripping up people a fair bit. So a couple weeks from now, 2 weeks from tomorrow is basically what it is. That's 601. Nothing terribly exciting in the end. All right, let's do triage, and then we'll do the review of future items and things like that. Bob, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Triage. Triage is going to be fairly short. Not too many issues open. And anyway, we'll start at the top. Bob has 3 of them, so they'll go fast or something like that. 9049, harvest bundle payloads like files does for package payloads. And this is so that we can do harvesting for payloads, right? Because there's like a feature we're missing without heat.
It's 2 things. One is it is a fairly obvious thing that we should add, like we did for files. If you have a bunch of stuff in your BA, this is handy for that. The second reason is that it's a prerequisite for me to remove heat, because we rely on heat to do BA payload harvesting in a couple of our samples for tests. So if I want to remove heat and I still want to do that, we need a feature like this so that heat can go away and we're not breaking out all of our tests.
Yep. So
I won't say which is more important to me.
Do we need to support compression on a payload? It feels like we should be able to follow the parent, right?
Right.
And should it be restricted to payloads? I wouldn't restrict it to payloads. Should this feature be restricted to BA payloads? Also support package payloads? Yeah, I would do it. I wouldn't special case it, I guess.
I didn't.
Okay. Cool. And Bob, as mentioned, has already done a lot of work on these things already, so that's already queued up and ready to go into WiX 7. So put it there, and that will be the baby step, because right after that I know that Bob's looking forward to getting rid of heat. All right. 9058. This one is been actually chatted about a bit. Like, look at that, 12 comments on here. Control bottom line on dialogue error. Control bottom line on dialogue error seen in logs. I don't know why I'm having a hard time reading that. The issue is you get these debug messages in the log file because the bottom line, the line across the bottom of the screen, goes beyond the dialogue by 5 pixels in this case.
Well, virtual pixels, it turns out.
And yes, and they're not, pixels. And pixels in the Windows installer are very interesting because they're all DPI based, which is printer like units. It's crazy, weird things that they did. And we adjusted this to fix a bug someone else opened about this, right?
Right. Yeah, there's an interesting history here. I think it was Bevan who sent a PR for a bug that had been open for quite a while. And his change correctly extends the line. Oh, yes, right. I did those screenshots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. So Bevan's changed the width to 373 in that middle picture. But that triggers this error message out of MSI going, oh, it's too far. Part of it is, I think, that MSI is, not DPI aware, and because of that, related to that, also doesn't really appreciate how Windows did away with the frame thickness.
Oh.
Back in Windows 10.
Oh, yeah.
So, when you're not aware of those changes, the math is screwy, right?
Yeah.
I think the error message is bogus.
Yeah, you could see it. It's just right there, difference.
Well, but yeah, so at 370 there's no error message. At 373, due in part, again, I think to the math involved in high DPI and in compensating for the frame thickness, it throws these bogus messages. But if in my comment I showed the log message, there's just all sorts of weird rounding errors that just come, I think, from the scale that's in play at the time.
I think your point about the border missing is really important as well. Because
I'm confident that
right there is almost enough to fit the border of one of the old school Windows.
Right.
Old school. I don't know. What are we talking about? Windows 7, 8, 9? No. Windows 9? No.
Windows 9, yeah. Windows 8 had kind of the nice chunky borders that extended into the title bar as well. Mm-hmm. I kind of liked it personally, but starting in 10, they went away and they went to the rounded windows. Mm-hmm. Again, faking out apps that expect their windows to be square.
Yeah. So
rectangular.
Look, I think we need to keep the visual correctness over the log file cleanliness. We'll have more people will complain about the lack of fit and finish of this than this message. And maybe you could send it to the installer team saying, hey guys, this message is not helpful. like you could try to fix it, or better yet, just don't. And we'll go on with life. We don't need that.
It's a fine message, but it's wrong.
Yeah. It doesn't need to have the word error. It could just say debug 2826. By the way,
yeah.
If they really want to keep the message. But I agree, the word error in there is really annoying, which is why Windows installer log files, if you want to search them, you search for value space 3, not the word error, because it's the only thing that works. All right. Anyway, I don't think we should take this change if it's going to make it look like that.
Yeah. The argument is that bug was open for years and nobody complained. My my response is, yeah, but everyone can see
Yeah.
the line,
Yep.
and not everyone looks at logs. So
Yep.
it's not. I mean, the argument is, but people looking at the logs now see errors. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. It's bad, but
I still think the lesser of two evils is now that we're here is
right.
type of thing. Yep. All right. No, don't think so. Cool though. Fascinating conversation to go discover. All right. 9061. I didn't understand this when I first read it, but a planned MSI feature. So this is after the feature has
It's
been
not.
planned, then tell what it has done.
It's yeah. Planned is the wrong word. I don't think we use that elsewhere in the engine.
It's like feature complete.
It's begin complete. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
a begin complete pair that that they're looking for the same reason that we have begin and complete pairs for other planning events.
Yep.
The state results in an action, and the action here is not being reported.
Yep. This is why that begin and complete pattern was so good, and anywhere we didn't use it, we almost always get burned by it.
Right.
Yeah, cool. Let's go up for grabs. Maybe leave a comment that it's the begin complete and not this word, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Otherwise, sure, someone could look at that. Seems useful. 9070 extension decompilers support only their own extension. The extension decompilers support only their extension's own tables. Man, I cannot read today. Like, that was totally valid English. The other one I was tripping on. This one, I just can't read. That's all it comes down to.
It is, but I'm also I have a mental block with this sentence. Not a block, just a little bump, because I'm used to calling them decompiler extensions because they are, but the emphasis is on decompilers in extensions. So I ended up using extension decompilers, but yeah, I tripped myself up.
This feels a little bit like Yoda, like was hanging out
It is
on
a
your
little
shoulder.
bit like Yoda, but
yeah,
I would not mind having Yoda helping me out occasionally.
What is this indentation? Anyway, firewall decompiler tries to support all those tables. Then it tries to decompile to handle a WiX 4 package. Right. So if
or going back all the way to WiX 3.
Yeah. So there's a WiX 1 without the 3 in it. So then 4 or 5. Yeah. So if a decompiler wants to be able to hit all of these changes over time, then it needs a little more help from the decompiler to add more tables because they aren't in the WiX lib, but they were before, and they need to not be custom table decompiled. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I could see that as a bug. So, and you already have a fix for this. All right, cool. Put it 7. Let's go. All right. Yep. Can make decompose a little bit better. It's fine. 9075. Update registration disappears during upgrade. Right. Something went wrong with update registration. And then you fix it in the PR. The approach used cross. I still don't understand the root of this. 9075.
Sorry, I didn't write the whole thing. Basically, optional update registration turns into a registry value in what is essentially a shared component, shared location in the registry. It's a location shared across all versions of a bundle. Actually, technically, it's not even a bundle. It's the key is arbitrary based on the data that you give it. So in WiX 3, there was special care taken to not remove the key during a related uninstall. That extra care was broken in WiX 5. So the pull request basically puts it back.
Oh, I see.
And does not, nuke the optional registration.
I see.
In that scenario.
So it's somewhere in Wix 4 development, we lost the this particular detail, and it took us a while to finally come back and find this very subtle detail
Yep.
in update restriction. All right. And thus it will get fixed in 601 because this came from a Firejack customer, and we're like, yep, all right, cool, we'll get that fixed for you. And it's small PR to make Wix modern Wix. What do we call it? Contemporary Wix, current Wix, whatever.
Like
look
modern.
more like that versus Wix 3, or play better with Wix 3, and in this case, act like Wix 3 because it was more correct, which doesn't happen very often, but occasionally. So, all right, cool. Okay, so that's these issues. Now we're going to switch over to future and go through those. Now, on this list, I really just kind of want to go through them and say, yes, I want to do that, whoever's owning it, and put it into Wix 7. If not, then it probably needs to go up for grabs unless someone wants to make a really strong argument for keeping it future, but it'd have to be a really strong argument. So, moving along, this whole overwrite no thing. Jacob's not here. I think the change in this overwrite no. Sorry, this is a very long ongoing thing. This is kind of the Jacob said, "I'll take it," and then it's just been going on for years. In the end, I think he found that certificates do not support this overwrite equals no. The code does not support it. Good grief, it goes on and on and on and on and on, and in the end. Yeah, it's just more questions than not, and I think the answer is to remove the no, isn't it?
Well, I think it's to make the whole attribute a no-op.
A no op, or to go away.
Well, make it a no-op so that we don't break authoring, but yeah.
Sure. All right. Jacob's not here. Should we do someone else want to take it? I don't really want to take this. I looked at my list. I'm gonna have plenty of big list here.
Yeah, I have no interest. It historically, I mean,
All right.
I made the comment. This has never worked going back to Wix 2.
Yeah.
So it's. I think we should just close it.
All right. Let's put it in 7. See if Jacob shows up, and then get him to say it one. I'll keep it around one time just in case he shows up next week, because he shows up regularly. All right. 6423 microcompiler backend specific errors. And yes, put this in 7. This is a thing that I continue to do as I work my way through, and I have some systematic changes to do. So this will be in that, and I probably won't get all of them again because there's a lot of them, but I will continue to clean as we go along. So there's that. So that'll go in 7. 6620 bug in Ukrainian localization. Do we just have to take these and trust that these are Ukrainian words that work?
I don't know.
You have the issue.
Well,
but from ancient history.
Well, no, I only took it. Oh wait, when did I? Oh, I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
A year
4
ago. Years.
A year and a bit ago. Oh no, 2021 when it got self-assigned.
Yeah, it's the original one.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do in general about localizations. I mean, all I can do is use whatever free translation is available to see if I agree.
Or translate them into English and then go, oh look, no bad words showed up. That's good.
Well, yeah, basically, yeah. I'll take it. It's fine.
Into 7. Yeah. Add the ability to specify the custom action reference depends on architecture. 6821. This is a cool thing if you can figure out how to do it. Is it something you want to take a 7?
No.
Okay. This could be something we keep in future as a,
Yeah,
we
this
really
is the
should use
template
import.
thing. Right, this is the template thing.
Yeah, and special pivots for architecture and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Right. And I have an example of an arbitrary pivot that I, I'm sad to say came to me in a dream. That because I saw some other projects using WiX, and they're trying to solve a template problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And right now that means a preprocessor.
Yeah.
So anyway, I can't believe I actually had it in a dream. But I'm willing to take this, but I almost certainly would not do it in 7.
All right. Well, let's see how 7 goes. This is important enough that we should continue to bring it along.
Yeah,
It's
for
just a
sure.
fundamental solution we need at some point.
Yep.
All right. 6947, I want to do that, so you can give that to me. I did some, and then I stopped because it got late in 6, but I want to do that. 7253, WC initialize should log some informational version. Bob?
Yeah, I didn't write anything down, but as I recall, the informational version, as I recall, WCA initialized takes the version info resource.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't a use the hard-coded version strings available.
Yep. It doesn't give you the more detailed version.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. Sorry, it's not the. It's
not the informational version.
No, it's not. But what I'm saying is, it's not the WiX version. It's not the WiX build version. It tries to take the file version of the executing custom action DLL.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I don't remember where this ended up. It was not a minor change.
Well, do you want it in 7, or are you going to be like, it's not come back? It can go up for grabs.
Yeah, I don't have strong enough feelings.
Yep, that happens. Multi-SD insert string. Yep, let's bring that to 7. Can you assign it to 2 people? If so, add
Yes.
me to that too.
Okay.
7401, the unified artifacts. I want to take a swing at that. I have a few build system things I'm hoping to do all at the same time. I want to understand the artifacts concept in .NET, and it came too late in .NET 8 for me to spend time on all of it in 6. So I want to, especially now that we will standardize on 8, then we can, I want to look at that. Anyway, I'm interested in that one. Same, here's the other one, 7455. I also want to figure out why this doesn't work, removing compile elements from the build. It should just work. That's really strange. So both of those. 7466, I also want to look at this -D and .NET tool. I don't think this is us, but I want to dig into it and look. These are all compiler related things. 7492, investigate ways of specifying payload sources. With the non-source options like bind paths. This is what is this, doc?
I think it's mostly doc, yeah.
All right. Do you want to keep it in 7?
No, it's not in 7.
Sorry, do you want to put it in 7 or send it off into up for grabs? I don't think there's anything else in here.
It's more than doc.
Yeah.
It's more than doc. This is a confusion that, these shortcuts thing, like component group source and directory file source,
Mm-hmm.
we violate the principle of least surprise that these are ephemeral attribute values.
As in they get overwritten if you specify them later in the tree.
Well, no, they go away.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally just if you are, stuff you're compiling in that file. And
Right. Yep.
But I opened the issue and 2 years ago said I should work on it, but I don't think so.
Okay. But still valuable enough to keep. I mean, could always
for sure.
kill it. Okay, that's the other option. Okay, 7585. Consider ref for more attributes. I want to do that. I have a sweep through thing, so I want to try this consider and see how it goes. And with the whole backwards compatible, and there's a set of issues I have to tackle when doing so. Package name dir fails in WiX 4. Oh, you could use a name attribute ending in a backslash to package it in WiX 4 crashes instead? Wow.
It would take the name of the
it would take the name of the file and just use the folder and
yeah.
We did all kinds of complicated things for payloads. Like all the we support. I feel like we supported every single permutation possible.
Yeah. Yeah, up for grabs.
Up for grabs? All right. Oddities excluding files via Visual Studio. This is the exclude. That's the same as that other compile one, but a different spin on it. So I will take that into WiX 7. System argument null exception when exe package parsing fails to generate an ID because source file and name attributes are both absent. 7742. This could go up for grabs. I did enough investigation to go, this is annoying. Don't do that. I would go after the compiler. It's just going to be really annoying to fix it, and I don't feel like doing it. So someone else could pick it up. It's a little puzzle to unwind if you want to try to tackle that one and keep all the other error messages and everything else around it. So it's an interesting little small space, but nope. Same with this one. WiX 4 merge module IDs are restricted by Windows file names. You can't use words like con or LPT1 for naming your merge module IDs, or somewhere in the merge process it gets confused. That can go up for grabs. I mean, it'd be great. Someone can fix that, but I don't feel like being the one to do that.
LPT9. I love the fact you could have 9 printers.
Yeah. I don't even want one. Anyway, so please publish your signing fingerprint. I will take this. This is going 7, and I'm going to do that because I appreciate what they're saying. 7861. This is along with the refs, I want to go through and figure out why director IDs are inconsistent and create the test for it. So I will take that in 7. These are hopefully small things. 7925, setting target frameworks can confuse restore. We have another one about runtime identifiers coming up. Both of those go into 7. This is kind of my series of WiX proj in modern.NET, picking up some more of the edge cases.
Yep.
So that's what that's my theme. I have a theme in that space of modern MS Build, fitting better in modern MS Build. Okay, figure out overwritable. I don't know what 7981 means. Overwritable attribute. Versus virtual and all that.
Yeah. Yep. I don't.
It should be deprecated.
Well. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't want to actually deprecate it. This feeds into the, how little can we change the language?
Yeah. I totally get it, because then you need WiX convert and blah, 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 blah. Yep.
Right. But, I mean, I guess if we keep overwritable working and switch everything built in to use virtual, which I did.
Yep.
Are we done?
Tell people not to use overwritable in the doc. I guess that would be the last thing. I mean, basically, you can, but don't use this. Use virtual instead.
I'll take that in 7.
And go from there. Okay. It keeps jumping on me. Here we are. 8063. Installation with scope per user fails when packaged NetFX Redis is used.
Yeah, it tries to cache to a per machine
And we
package
don't
cache.
elevate? Wow.
Well, the, in this case, the Redis is not needed,
Oh.
but it's being cached.
Oh,
There
it's
was
being
a change.
This is
There was
another
a
one of those
change
things that bit
in
us.
the caching logic that calls for this to be cached, but
Right. Yeah.
it isn't being used, and it can't be cached in a per machine location. So, I'll take this at 7.
Okay. Yuck.
It's adjacent to my per user per
Right.
machine.
8104. Icon no longer displayed in burn bundle window title taskbar after upgrade with 5. Yep. All right. I didn't get to this in 6. I will get to it in 7. I was thinking about this and I came up with I think a simpler solution than all the hard ways I was trying to do it. I'm going to try my simple solution. If it works, then I'll go with that. But I need to try it because it may not work. But I need to do something here and I didn't get it done in 6. So off into 7. All right. Per user installation rollback does not remove product registration registry. Oh, the bundle? No.
No,
Custom action? Oh, gosh. What did they
it,
do? Um,
yeah, I
okay.
cannot believe that this is something that's a problem with WiX, but we have people saying, "Oh, but it works in some other tool." I don't know.
Up for grabs?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Generate components should be ice clean for per user directories. 8633. Per user packages using files. Yeah. Hard. Not easy.
Yeah. But you know what? I will take this into 7, but I'm becoming confident that the answer to this is just to use per user per machine.
Yep.
That
Cool.
should be how we handle per user packages, I
Got
think.
it. Cool. I look forward to that because I came up to the same conclusion as well. All right. 8654 .NET Core Bootstrapper shows a pop-up to download despite having included as a prereq.
You kept this for Doc, right?
Yeah. And then
Because
we ended up getting
right
a
now there's
fix for it by setting by setting an environment variable that prevents the behavior completely,
right, right.
which then made the doc not as important, but I still should dock the thing. Yeah, give it to me. All right, yeah. I need to dock this. Let's put it in 7. I need to dock the primary and secondary, even if they aren't as
Right,
necessary.
right,
They're
right.
not necessary for this case because we fixed the underlying problem, and you don't have that problem, which was very cool. That environment variable worked. I was amazed. 868 8685 increased build parallelization. Bob, you keeping that in 7?
Yeah, I'll bring it into 7. I suspect it will go into 7 and get some work done, and then go into 8 and get some work done,
Yeah,
etc.
I have that like with my my messages, continuing to pull the messages central.
Right, right.
All right, 8847 parallel cache and bundle creates errors on log file.
Don't really care.
Can you look at it? I'm like, I don't know. Oh, it's a race condition.
Yeah.
Wow.
I kind of want to keep it, but I just don't think I'm going to get to it in 7.
Well, you can put it 7 and bop it in the future, and if you think it's important to carry it forward,
All right.
and maybe you'll pick it up along the way, and we'll see how big future gets doing that. We haven't been through enough of these to know if that's like a really bad behavior or not. 8865, this is the triage issue that I've been punting along the line. Defer removal of upgrade related bundles until the next session. So I finally sat down and wrote down all the things. This is a really complicated torn state type thing. So I left a bunch of questions, but only this morning. So there's no way they responded to them yet. I think we put this in 7 and let's assign it to Joel, and then they can work on it if they want. And if he doesn't want to work on it, then it won't come in, I think.
Okay. Works for me.
All right. Consider targeting DTF 8908. This is basically finally cutting .NET 2.3.5, .NET Framework 3.5 off the developed machines.
Yeah. This came about because I set up a new developer machine, and I said, "Oh, I don't have to install .NET 3.5," but you do, and it's because of DTF. I understand it's the lowest common denominator, but I'm in a mood, or I certainly was in a mood when I opened this bug, that we don't have to keep carrying around everything. DTF is out there in version 6, supporting .NET 2.0, targeting .NET 2.0. It will always be there. Thank you, NuGet.
Yeah, you can just stay there and keep using it.
I do not feel a moral obligation to support everything
until
in
2029, so 4 more years.
Even then, it's yeah. And if this were, I don't know, if this were WiX and like, oh no, we have to keep supporting WiX itself on, I don't know, bad example, but this is not, DTF is not receiving a massive amount of development or anything other than security fixes. I don't feel a moral obligation to keep carrying it forward on .NET 2.0.
Yeah, I'm not the one arguing for this, so I'm like, yeah, whatever. Let's bring it 7. You can continue to have the fight. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. Some people.
Well,
carrying.
No, I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
Let's just make it. Are we going to do it or not? It's not a big deal. I have installed .NET on my new developer machine, so I'm good. If people object, I don't care.
Yeah, so carry it around for 4 more years until it's gone. Gosh, 4 more years of .NET 3.5. Holy cow. Or don't, and just go, yeah, we're cutting the tail. We're not going to maintain this anymore and keep going. I don't know. I don't care enough.
Fine. Killing it.
Okay. 8909. Consider targeting .NET 8. Yeah, you can give this to me. It's either .NET 8 or we need to talk about, do we target .NET 10? I don't know. It's purely a question of should we jump to 10? If we're going to move the number, do we go all the way to 10 or do we target 8?
Well, for 7, there's the awkward period of now to November.
Yep.
I like the idea of we don't require .NET 10 except for people using the .NET tool, right? If we target .NET 10, then .NET tool users would need to have 10. That's the only downside. And God knows a lot of people use. It's baked into. Not baked in. Yeah, MS Build, it's either...
Yeah, you're right. The easier way is just to keep going with .NET 8 and keep going. Because it'll
yeah.
still be in service for the amount of time. Actually, will it be in service the whole time Windows
That,
7 or WiX 7 is in service?
.NET 9 came out in 2024, right? So that means .NET 8 came out in 2023. Oh, no, we're going to end up in the same boat as we did with 6.
Yeah, where 8 is going out of service and
Yeah.
it
We're off a year is the problem.
right. So that was the jump to 10 and then we get on that.
Right.
That's was the anyway. We need to take this to 7. We need to then choose is it 8 or 10. It's 8 or 10
Right.
basically is what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to decide. All right. 8932. Compilation fails due to invalid enabled attribute. All right. This is for me for documentation. I need to go through and get the documentation to be able to mark attributes with their version and have it show up in the doc correctly. This is on me. I need to implement a feature in the doc system to make that happen. And then go and update a few things to do so. So anyway, that should go to 7 or WiX 7, that is, and I will work on that. Repo
Sorry,
contains
what's your fix?
the fix is a doc fix to say that enable is only supported in WiX 5 and later, or WiX 6 and later, whatever the number is. But right now, you can't say that in the. You should be able to say that in the doc, and it will get a marker in our doc site. If we could define it in the XSD, what the minimum version something showed up in, there's a way of that showing up in the doc clearly, instead of being buried inside the text.
Right. Sorry, I'm asking: is it just marking this attribute with that
Yes.
whatever GUI that is?
Yes.
Because that functionality already exists.
Okay, then I just need to go do so.
No, sorry, that was a question.
Oh no, I don't think that functionality exists.
Oh, okay. I know
So-
that it exists in the doc system.
Correct. The doc supports it. The XSD
Got it,
does
got it.
not. I need to then glue all the parts
Okay,
together
okay.
to make it so that the answer is yes. The fix is go fix the XSD. But right now, the answer go fix the XSD would not get you the complete answer. So
Plus fix the doc tooling.
right. So that's
Got
why there's more work to this than that. But the answer is in the end, hey, the doc now does this correctly. It highlights it. It makes it very clear. Did you use WiX 5? No. Well, then the doc showed you it doesn't work in WiX 4. Oh, okay. Carry on. That's the goal. At least we could point the doc and say, well, the doc said.
Right.
All right. 8935. Binary artifact. We need to kill these all off. So I'll take it, put it in 7, and we'll get that thing built instead of having a binary file built into our world. Package with other dependents not uninstalled. Go ahead and sign this to me in 7. There's a PR for this. Need to just sit down and make sure that that's the right thing. And if not, then we'll kill it in 7 or we'll bring it in 7. So that will go. And then the last thing is runtime identifier on project references. Unexpected build failure using runtime identifier on project references. Yeah, this is the supporting runtime identifiers.
To pick platform.
Yeah. As instead of platform and all that. So it's another one of the support modern MS build concepts in here. This is another one that goes in that book. I'm going to find some way to group all these together. Maybe I just tag them all in this build and that will be enough. I don't know. I would need to do something so I could be, all right, I am working on this, what do they call epic? Feature? Whatever word Scrum people use. This collection of tasks as one big cohesive whole that when they are done together, you're like, oh, it works better on modern MS build. Modern MS build being like newer MS build even than when we wrote WiX 4 the first time. So, anywho, that's like probably going to be one of my biggest contributions in WiX 7. Looking at this work is trying to get up on all that modern MS build. Not that anybody cares because people are like, whatever, it's MS build. Okie dokie. So that's future. We are done with the future list. This will go down to 0. As Bob, is able to catch up with all the notes and all the good things, and that is great. So we will be down to 0 issues for triage, and then 0 issues in future. And let's talk about next month because I was about to talk about that, and let's bring up the slide. All right, so next meeting is a month from now, which if I did math right, that's third Wednesday of June, which if I did math right, not always guaranteed, that should be the 18th, but I think I got it right. And we will do triage and all those things. WiX 601 will be out with some bug fixes. And that will unblock some people that were hit by the files change issue. That's probably the biggest thing that people will recognize from 601. And we will probably need to talk about tackling back issues, like how we want to do that. If we go very, very beginning and start wiping them out, or if we go more recent and try to work backwards, about just going, yeah, no, we're not doing this, or whatnot, to clean out the old 4 and 3 milestones to kind of do that. But if our issue list stays small, then that's cool, and we will have time to do those things. If we have a very long issue list, then we will do that to triage. If we have a long triage list, that is, then we will do that. And that's all I have. I've tried to fill a bunch of space in case anybody had questions or comments, things they want to talk about. Bob, do you have anything out there?
Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah. So you can see the kind of themes. At least I have a theme for WiX 7 for the kind of work I'm doing, mostly SMS build stuff, and then a few things around it that I've just want to take care of. I don't know, Bob, if you feel like you have a theme yet.
Yeah, my theme is all per user stuff.
Per user. Yeah, that's right. Right. That'll be interesting to see if that comes together well.
Yeah. Well, it ties in with some of the Windows announcements that came out.
Oh gosh, I don't want to even think about the pain that can create for us.
Yeah, well, all the rest of MS Build was AI, so I guess we'll just let AI fix them.
That's it. We'll just tell it to change burn to support split token AI admin or whatever they are now. Feels like the first time they introduced UAC, now they've done another round of it. Like, we're going to further split the admin.
It's a big change.
What do they call it?
Protected admin.
Protected admin?
Yeah.
I see. All right. So Zach's saying the files using the first unnamed bind path interacts weirdly with how project references generates unnamed bind paths, and it's hard to learn that through the documentation. The documentation, yeah, so I have a couple window browsers open right now about things to document, and all of the magic around project references needs to be described better to start with, like the fact you can publish and what the runtime identifiers can and can't do, so on and so forth. Definitely needs to be done. And then there probably is some more detail about files and all of the way they can interact with bind paths.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, truthfully, I have regrets. One of them is basically not requiring, a fully qualified path for the files inclusions. Unnamed bind paths are okay, but the project references create named and unnamed bind paths for each one. And that is convenient, but yeah, it means, it's really easy to pick up what you didn't intend.
Yeah. So don't just use named bind paths and you can avoid that problem.
Yeah,
and maybe that's what the documentation should say. Hey, if you got something really simple,
right.
You can get away with this. If it gets at all complex, you really want to use this syntax instead.
Yeah.
And then be like, well, there you go. You have easy for the people that really have it easy. And then if you have anything that's at all not, then stop using unnamed bind paths because they can have all these side effects. And that's probably what it could say.
Which would work well if there's documentation saying, here's what the named bind path for project reference X is going to be.
Correct. Like that's why I brought up the project reference doc first, right? You have to understand that. and then stack the files information after that. It's actually hard to talk about any of the how to find files in Wix today without understanding the project reference stuff. And so it's like, I know it's on me. I need to go and sit down and write all the project reference stuff because I did a lot of the work in that space. I need to just write down all the rules, find the place to put it, the documentation, which is always kind of work for me right now. And then go with that. Should the files print a warning if there are multiple unnamed bind paths? What if it threw an exception?
Ahem. Ahem. Oh, I am so going to mock you when I find some stupid bug you added.
Oh, man. Sorry. Dude, I don't think Zach even knows what he just did.
But you knew.
Oh, well, I knew what I was saying, but I didn't realize it was that funny, which is why I'm now laughing at myself so much because it was way funnier than I thought it was. Zach, or for everybody following along at home that don't know, doesn't get the inside joke, the only non-customer fix in 601 is a fix to files to not crash when there are multiple unnamed bypass. so right now Zach's getting his behavior. It crashes when you have if you have multiple unnamed bypass. So I guess the fix there would be, or the change would be to display a warning saying, hey, by the way, we only used this one. There were more, but we only used this one. It's an interesting point.
Yeah, I will think about it. I have the simple fix out, but like I said, regrets. And yeah, I don't like what is essentially non-deterministic behavior.
Right. But you can get deterministic behavior by putting bind paths in.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, my regret is only that I allowed too many default behaviors, and there's more than one. Like, right now it is relative to the source path, which is what was I thinking? What was I smoking? I don't know. But it looks pretty, so
it does look pretty.
And yes, exactly right, Zach. That was...
Yeah, people are like, this is easy. Just do this. You're like, yeah, you have not thought through half of the problems that are facing you, my friend. Everybody like, this is easy. I'm like, yeah. Then you do it. All the people complaining about, how do I do this in Heat when Heat's gone? Like, well, you could use Heat. Just
again,
use it.
NuGet, it's going to be out there forever.
Just take it. You could take Heat. We're just not going to deal with that thing anymore. It's like, here, you have fun with that. Go deal with it.
Yeah, I hate complaining about Heat because my complaints are primarily around the complexity, but I know the reasons for the complexity. The extensibility we just never did anything with, but it makes it awkward as hell to work inside Heat. Then the serialization, again, makes perfect sense when you look at the history. And thank you both to Derek and Reed, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, they're gone, and I don't want to work in that stuff anymore.
Yeah, well, it's not even a great way of doing it anymore.
Oh, we never took advantage of it, so
I still don't think it's the way to do it anyway. So
well, I was trying to be nice.
It's not their fault. There's plenty of things that we did that we don't need to do anymore.
Yeah, true.
The world moved on. Like I had to rewrite all of the Wix proj handling in Wix 4 because it just changed. It's all different. Common targets, all that. Just blow it all up, put it all back together in a new way. Just had to rewrite the whole thing. And what do you see? SDK style projects. I guess that was the feature. It's a good feature. I was thinking there's nothing to it, but that was a good feature. Anyway, we're babbling now. Zach, we raised some interesting points. I'm sure Bob will noodle on them. And we will see how things roll forward in Wix 7, which is basically out there. If you want to start working on Wix 7, by all means, you can start. The code's there. I just need to sit down and make sure I have all the I's crossed, the T's dotted. No, I's dotted, T's crossed, whatever, however you say that thing. Make sure I have everything
Take your
right,
pick.
and then the builds will start rolling. And I will be doing that within the next week because the 601 will go and have to get the 601 and blah blah. It's just all the work, all the work to make all these things go. So we're doing that. And Martin showed up right at the end of the meeting. Welcome, Martin. We will be back in June. As far as my content schedule goes, for those people that care, but things that talking about setup and stuff, the fourth Wednesday is off. Actually, I take that back. For those of you that cannot attend, because the Deployment Dojo show live, I have decided that the Deployment Dojo video comes out on the fourth Wednesday of the month because I can't turn it around fast enough to get it out on the same day. And then I end up with Fire Giant office hours and then this meeting. And that's just too much other content that I have to deal with. So I will get the Deployment Dojo meetings out on the fourth Wednesday so that you can watch it before the live show. And for those of you that attend the live show, there are minor improvements to the cleanups in the Deployment Dojo episode. So if you want a refresher before you go watching the video, there will be additional content in it, minor additional content, to give you a refresher that if you watch it again, you're like, oh, cool. There's a little bit of ads in it. So anyway, that comes out on the fourth Wednesday. And then the Wednesday after that is the Deployment Dojo show again. So that's kind of the go. So Deployment Dojo show you can find on the Fire Giant YouTube channel. So that's youtube.com/@FireGiantCo for company. And you can subscribe to firegiant.com and it will send you notifications the same way the WiX Toolset channel will. And you'll get notified of new videos and all that kind of good stuff. So that's the easiest way to keep up with the Deployment Dojo. Working on also potentially writing blog entries when the videos go up or decide how much extra stuff we put around it. But it's fun. It's cool. Welcome to come hang out and watch live coding as opposed to triage and things like that. Not that this isn't riveting content or that Deployment Dojo is riveting content, but I think if you watch the video, you'll find it slightly amusing as it goes along. All right. So that's kind of the world. If Deployment Dojo is the first Wednesday at this time slot, they're basically all this time slot. So this 10:30 time slot, Deployment Dojo is the first Wednesday. If you're a Fire Giant customer, office hours are the second Wednesday. Third Wednesday is this meeting, the WiX Online Meeting. And the fourth Wednesday is the Deployment Dojo upload of the first Monday. And then we do it all again the next month. So that's kind of the content channel or the content show, and hopefully it's always at this 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and you can kind of standardize your life. If you want to go every Wednesday, there is something going on. Well, I guess second Wednesday only for FireGiant customers, but if you're a FireGiant customer, there's something every Wednesday that you could be a part of things coming out all about WiX and software installation and all the things you need to be, as I call it, Deployment Dojo, a setup ninja. So there you go. That's our current content plan that things are working out, and it's a nice sustainable system as opposed to trying to do everything every week, which was getting to be a bit much. All right. That's all I have. I've tried to fill a whole bunch of space. Hopefully anybody that had questions had typed them in by that point. And thank you all for being here, Bert, Zach, and Martin at the last minute, and anybody else that's like kind of lurking out there, not chatting. That's okay. And if you come watch this video later, go ahead and say hi in the comments so we know that people actually get to the end of these videos and be like, ha ha ha, I watched all the way to the end. And we'll give you, I don't know, a gold star, at least a thumbs up in the comments. So until then, we'll be back in a month for this show. Go to the Fire Giant channel, subscribe if you haven't to get notifications of the Deployment Dojo shows, both live and replays. And until then, you guys take it easy. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.